some of my family members turned on me. They couldn't understand,
Yeah.
and my friends couldn't understand how you gonna be a Republican? You black.
Right.
I was like, I don't have a right to change my mind.
Right.
Call you all kind of names.
Oh, yeah.
I've been
We don't
called
hurt it all.
every name in the book
We don't
and
hurt it
then
all.
some.
Oh, yeah, we're coons.
We everything, all in the comments.
I even have the Coon Award.
Let me tell you, there are some comments that we can't even put up from black people. I don't even approve them because they're really bad. Everyone black has experienced that has decided to think for themselves. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. Okay, so you guys want us to do more videos with Jesse Lee Peterson. So we're watching Fallen State here. So this is, what is their names? Kai, Half and Kai. They have a YouTube channel and they were on, I'll put the full interview below so you guys can listen to the whole interview. This is a clip of them talking about some things, but they were liberals and they are now turned over to be conservative. And they kind of explain why that is. So we're going to get into this and see what they have to say. I actually have not seen the entire clip.
So let me ask, are you guys more conservative or liberal, Democrats or Republican? How that goes?
More conservative.
And so, how about you?
Same.
Yeah. Have you ever were you Democrats at one time?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
And what changed your mind?
Me seeing myself included and the people around me. Everyone just being too comfortable. I was receiving food stamps, welfare, and my life was just gone. I had no life. And I remember one day I was in the grocery store and I had a lot of food stamps and I had 2 shopping carts full of food, and it just clicked. It's like, Jamie, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is, you're able-bodied. You can work. You know, my life. I feel I'm a talented person,
Right,
and I was letting my life go to waste because of my laziness, and it wasn't doing anything for me.
That's
and I
amazing.
want more in life, so I had to change it up.
I just want to say real quick, I love her for saying this. Because it's got to be kind of hard, right? Because to acknowledge that you're an able-bodied person and you know that your life was not, matching up to that. I love the self-awareness of people who get it.
And show my kids better because I wasn't shown the right way to go, so.
And how did your friends feel when you changed? Your eyes were open. Did they thought you were crazy for?
Yeah, thinking I'm better than.
Yeah.
She acts different now.
We are Uncle Tom's now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that happened to me too. And how about you? What changed your mind from a Democrat to a Republican?
I think when I started really researching candidates and seeing what they really stand for, and also growing up in a Democratic family, I started realizing that certain things that Democratic Party say, they don't deliver.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm looking at our community that I live in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why am I continuing to vote for these candidates, but they're not delivering anything? So, and then especially when I started reacting to different reactions we started reacting to,
Right.
Jordan Peterson, yourself, a few other people that I was watching, and it started all making sense. You know what I mean? It's like the Democratic Party was pacifying the black community.
Absolutely, man.
You know what I mean? It was pacifying the black community, so and making us all lazy and not wanting to go get jobs. And they was literally kicking the father out the household, and the government became the new father, so to speak. You know what I mean? Because like she said, you got the food stamps now, and you got this and you got that. So what would you demand for when, taxpayers is paying?
I know. Take care of
So I mean, so that's what made me wake up. and kind of look at things a little bit different?
I grew up in Alabama on a plantation, right? And I had worked all my life. I taking care of myself. And then I moved out here at 18, and I started listening to Jesse Jackson and all those people. And they were talking about how bad the white man is, and he tried to hold the black man down, and blah, blah, blah. And being a young man, I fell for the lie. I believed into it. And then once I believed into it, I stopped taking care of myself. And I even ended up on welfare. And the only way I got on it, though, I used to smoke pot a little bit.
Okay.
You ever smoke pot?
I still do.
You smoke pot?
On the way here.
What the?
Absolutely.
You smoke pot too?
Absolutely, I do. I'm sure everybody smelled it when I walked in the door, right?
So you high now?
Huh?
Are you high right now?
Am I?
What?
You can't tell, though.
Huh? You all wide-eyed now, I can tell. No. So you been smoking something too?
No.
Oh, you don't smoke pot?
Yes, part-time I do.
Yeah.
Not full.
Nothing like me. I'm like a
full
Snoop
time.
Dogg.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, you like the Snoop Dogg? Snoop Dogg smoking? He still smoking?
I believe so.
What? But anyway, I smoked it a little bit, but I really couldn't smoke it heavily.
Right.
Because when I smoked it, I would feel insecure. I couldn't tell if I was making sense or not. And I remember we used to get high. My friends used to say, oh, come on, let's go out to the club or something, right? And on the way to the club, they would be passing the joint. I'm like, look. If y'all pass this joint to me, we're not going in the club.
Right.
So you might either leave me at home or don't pass
Don't
the
pass
joint.
it, right.
Yeah.
Skip me.
Because I couldn't feel myself. I
Right.
didn't know.
Right.
And so they would pass it anyway. And by the time we get to the club, I'm so high. Like, I'm not going in.
Right.
I can't go in.
Right.
And they would get mad and have to take me back home.
This is that what's happening now too is that I know a lot of people that most people smoke now.
I don't smoke weed, but I mean, I don't care if you do.
I don't
I just
either.
hate it when you look like you do.
Yeah. Yes, like he doesn't
You know
look
what I'm
he
saying?
does.
It's
Yeah.
like I drink, but I don't look like I do. I'm
Yeah,
not
the
walking around
alcoholic.
sloppy drunk. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't like when people
When it affects
when you
your-
don't use something to just relax.
Yeah.
And you use it to sort of get through your day.
Yeah.
When you need something to me like that, like something that's not you,
Yeah.
to brighten your day. In this like weird like way like it's almost like you're a slave to it.
Yeah.
If you don't have it anymore, then you can't function.
Yeah. That's
You
where
know
it
what
starts
I
getting a
mean?
little
I
weird.
don't like when I see men or women where their eyes are low, like Snoop Dogg. I don't like the way he looks. I'm
No,
sorry,
he looks-
I just don't.
yeah.
I think he looks lazy. I know he's not, but I'm just saying he doesn't look good to me. You know what I mean? I don't like when people and then you start looking unkept.
I think when people are depressed and smoke weed, it's a worse combination.
Yeah.
By the way, too, because people who smoke weed a lot but they're not necessarily depressed. They just are sometimes from a time where that was just something they've always done. You know, and then also but they can still function and be normal. But I think when you mix depression with weed, that's when it gets. I think when you mix depression with any substance,
Yeah.
that's when it gets kind of iffy. So I don't. This guy doesn't come off as depressed to me. But anyways, that's pretty funny.
I'm like, I told you, don't get me high.
Hey, at least you gave him a warning.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I remember them first times. You know, them
Yeah.
first little,
I'm like, what the? And then the pot wasn't nearly as strong as it is today. I don't know what y'all smoking today.
Yeah.
That
Well,
stuff smells like poison.
He said it smells like poison.
some of it can.
Yeah, you can smell it all the way down the road.
Yeah.
You can be on the freeway and somebody smoking in a
Yeah,
car.
you're right.
It'll get you high.
That's me.
Right.
I can drive by you and you will get high for sure.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And then so being high, I used to hold these parties every Friday night.
You did?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And
Damn.
and then I heard some black people say that if you high and you black, you can go down to the welfare office and get food stamps and money, right? Because you get high, so you're not capable of working like a handicap.
And you
Wow.
I believe it.
believe that? Damn.
And I went down there and I said, "Oh, I can't work." And they're like, "Why not?" I said, "I smoke pot." And then, so they gave me $100 food stamp every month.
Yeah.
And $300 cash.
Okay.
And I'm like, whoa, this is
I
great.
get though.
Yeah, you should go to work.
Right.
And so I would just party every weekend.
Yeah.
And I would make sure that I'm not like those blacks that don't make sure they have food and pay the rent. You know, I'll make sure I pay my rent.
Yeah.
Have food in the house.
Yeah.
Cause when I get high, I knew I couldn't move. Right.
Right.
And finally one day, I was like you. I'm like, I'm worse off now than I ever been in my life. Cause I wasn't working or anything, right? And so I thought to myself, if the white man is holding me down, why is it that he's not holding Jesse Jackson and all those people who are claiming that the white man holding you down? Because they were doing well, they lived in big houses, they had families and everything. And I realized we had been lied to, that I had been lied to about the whole race thing.
Right.
And so I dropped it. I dropped the food stamp and the money for the thing. The long story short, I realized my life was going to hell. I wasn't getting better. I was getting weaker and worse. So I dropped it off and took back, stopped hating the white folks, and took back control of my life, and it's just been up here ever since. It's been amazing. So I totally understand what you mean.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the time, I was a Democrat. I had registered as a Democrat out here because when I was growing up, I didn't know any black Democrats. I only knew black Republicans.
Right.
There were no black Democrats.
Really?
Right.
Wow.
And so, but I didn't know the platform of the Democratic Party or the.
He said there was no black.
Yeah,
Republicans, yeah.
And when Jesse was younger, it had to be like the 40s, 50s when he was a kid.
Most black people
So
were.
most black people were Republicans
Republicans,
early
yeah.
on. They didn't. I think it didn't change. I think we started to move over during FDR.
Yeah.
And then we really
Civil
moved
rights and
over
all
during
that.
the civil
Civil
rights
rights,
because
yeah.
of the civil rights bill.
I know we talk about Democrat, Republican. I know people don't like just the two. You know what I mean? Just talking about the two like that. But it is very interesting to see when the party that you've always been on the side of doesn't make any sense anymore.
But I think like a lot of black people, because most black people, including Jesse and most black Republicans, used to be black Democrats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think a lot of black people are simply Democrat just because other black people are. And that was me.
Yeah.
My whole family's Democrat.
Yeah, right.
And so I'm not for women's liberation. I never was. So I don't know why. I'm not for
small
like the
government.
LGBT stuff.
Like,
I'm not
for
into
smaller government.
all this black people need to vote, you know, because black people, you know, I've never been
Gun control, I'm not for
none of
that.
You
I'm
know
not
what I
for
mean?
that either. Yeah.
And so, and Danielle and I, our upbringing was like, because my mother was a single mom, but she was never on welfare. And I'm only saying this to say this, is that, like, unlike her story where she was actually on welfare using it, that's her story. She felt somewhat. The reason why I moved over, I don't know if you feel the same way, but the way it was just because I never felt that way.
Yeah.
My mother never received welfare, and she always says, as long as you have strength and you're able body, there's no reason why you should be taking money. You know, you need to go to work. You know what I mean? So for me, that sort of welfare thing never was an option for me because I don't believe in having children outside of wedlock. I don't believe in I don't believe in not working. If you're single, you need to work.
These are all things that I didn't believe in that were platforms of the Democratic Party. You know, the abortion stuff and all that. I personally never, all the things the Democratic platform were about, I was against. But I was still a Democrat. And it wasn't until I read the Republican or just, you know, even libertarian platforms, I was like, okay, their platform is who I am. It aligns with my values. So if I'm going to be doing this voting thing, because not everybody votes, but if I want to participate in the voting process, and I do, you know, then I really do have to pick a party that's aligning with my my values. And so it just wasn't, it made zero sense for me to be a Democrat. So I just kind of, I like them, like I just kind of started seeing things. I was like, okay, this is not aligning right. Like this, they're championing things that I am totally against. Why am I part of this? You know, so I think it's kind of what they saw too.
And also, I think as you educate yourself, because I think a lot of black people aren't educated politically.
I don't think.
And now I will say this: I wasn't
either.
I mean, although my values really in my lifetime have leaned conservative, I would always vote Democrat for this one reason, and it's because I thought Democrats cared more for the black community. And when I started to research things, as I looked at the Republican platform, I started researching. I'm thinking, oh wow, the Democrats are really everything bad. that has ever happened to the black community.
Yeah.
So ever since I've done more research, I'm thinking I'm not saying that the Republican Party's
flawless
at all. But
actually, I would say real quick. I would say that politics in general
is corrupt.
It's corrupt. You don't want to participate in the process. You really.
But you do have to participate in your process of your governing. So the thing is, it's like, I think, what did someone say the other day? They said, "Oh, I hate that I have to vote for the lesser two evils."
Right.
Now I used to hate that too.
Yeah.
But this guy said the other day, he said, "No, you're always politicians are corrupt. You are always going to be voting unless Jesus Christ becomes on the ticket. You are always going to vote for the lesser of two evils.
It's the way it
so
is.
You have to pick, because really we are responsible for the politician. Because if we compromise every time, like if you are strictly a person that will not vote for, I won't vote for abortion.
Yeah, no.
I won't vote for that. You know what I mean? And so I can't vote Democrat.
Right.
That's just off the ticket because they're everything on that. So I think when you look at where your own personal values lie and you just lean on that and you stop compromising yourself,
they're pushed to go a certain way.
Right, because we are getting close to a uniparty. Here
we are.
They vote the same way, but how you fix that is that you absolutely when the primaries happen, the candidates that's when it really to me the primaries are the big thing because. If you're a Republican, you got to look at all these Republicans and whoever's leaning on the hardest values, the good, the values that I think are better for the country, then that person needs to get over the top, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I read the platforms, and I saw that the Democratic Party was anti-family, anti-God, anti-everything, military, anti-anything good. And the Republican Party was for all those things, freedom, independence. So I switched party, and my family was like, "What is wrong with you?"
Oh yeah.
Now, what year was this?
This was in, I was in my 20s, 68, 69, about the 70s sometime.
Okay.
Early 70s.
Okay.
And my family, I can relate because some of my family members turned on me. They couldn't understand. And my friends couldn't understand. How you going to be a Republican? You black.
Right.
I was like, I don't have a right to change my mind.
Right.
All Republicans are just white or something. Like that.
Yeah, and they call you all kind of names.
Oh, yeah.
I've been
We don't
called
hear it all.
every name in the book and
don't hear it
then
all.
some.
Oh yeah, we're coons.
We everything, all in the comments.
I even have the Coon Award. They gave me a Coon Award.
Are you serious?
And by the way, nobody, your freedom gets taken away from you by black people, not by white people.
Right.
Black people are the biggest plantation, livers, and especially in that Democratic Party, man. The instant you say
change your
anything
mind.
and you are black, that you don't have to worry about. I mean, you might get some white liberals who will say something,
Very
but
rare.
nobody will insult you more. You can look in our comments. No one will insult you more than black people who are who have pledged their allegiance to the Democratic Party. There are some
don't
get it.
Let me tell you, there are some comments that we can't even put up from black people. I don't even approve them because they're really bad. You know what I mean? Like black people, when you switch over or when you dare to think for yourself, you are labeled immediately a coon, a traitor to your own race. Like we said before, bed wench. You're chucking and jiving. You're a bootlicker. You're all these things. Like that's what happens the moment. That's why all these people on the stage here, Jesse and them, like everyone black has experienced that has decided to think for themselves. And it doesn't matter how much sense you're making, it doesn't matter how much evidence you're pulling, it doesn't matter about statistics and all that stuff. They don't care about that. All they know is that when you are a Republican, you are a sellout, and that Republican is white and Democrat is black, and you're supposed to vote blue no matter who. And so when you don't do that, like you do get labeled, like it's immediate. Like they were saying, Jesse's right. It's like it's immediate. As soon as you start. It's immediate.
I think the Hodge twins actually said that when they when
Yeah,
they started
they
to
did.
change over, their show was doing well.
Yeah.
Their YouTube show. But the instant that they said something conservative that they actually believed in conservative, or they were moving over or something like he said, I think Keith even said we weren't even fully Republicans
Right.
yet. He said we just started saying stuff that really we were just thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he said about 40% of our viewers left.
Yeah.
He said, and I was so mad. That's what he said. I was so mad that my own people. We had all kinds of people coming, all kinds of black people coming. He's like, and I'm like saying, right? It's interesting, right? The black people, the people who always talk about freedom the most, can't stand it when you have freedom.
Being discriminated against, black people. That's what they do.
It is the worst thing. Like it's just. He was just like, and I got so upset, and I thought to myself, I cannot believe I'm being betrayed by my own people just because I don't want to think like the masses. It is crazy.
Conservative. Like I was telling Chris before, it's almost even now here like in America. Because I know we have a lot of people from different countries, but even here in America, it's really sad to see that when you put up an American flag, that's viewed as racist. That's viewed as like you are a
it's like the new
Confederate flag. People, whenever you say, I love America, I love USA, and you're American, and you're black, like, there's something about that triggers, like, black, liberals, where it just, that the flag all of a sudden, our country's flag, like, I stand by that flag, you know what I mean? And I will always wave that flag, because I am American, very proud to be an American as well, so, but when you do that, like, for some reason, even our flag has been viewed now as racist.
And if you're a black person that does that, you spit in the face of all the black people who helped build this country. All of them. When you do that, you should be proud to be an American. You should. If you're gonna have some pride, you should be proud. I mean, with the people who came before you, to me, did the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
I'm just getting. We are all just living
reaping the benefits
of all of these people that came before us, white or black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody's flawed. There won't be a generation where we're not flawed. There's no such thing as utopia. You know what I mean? So you can stop that. But the truth is that we are benefiting living in this country. I mean, most Africans don't even want to live in Africa.
Right.
We're always talking about going to Africa and stuff like that. Like, most Africans want to live here.
Yeah.
It turned out slavery, although a bad system, we benefited heavily for being born in this country and not having to, get visas.
We had an automatic privilege. Yeah. Because we are.
And we don't treat it right. Instead, we spit on the country.
And we complain and whine.
Why there are people, as Vodi Bakum said, there are people in Africa, that's where he's teaching, people in Africa waiting for a lottery ticket to get over to this country.
People don't know about that little tidbit, do they?
In my radio studio.
Wow.
They call me Coon Award, but I don't care.
Right.
It didn't even bother me.
Right. Yeah.
I'm free. Yeah. This is one slave that left the Democratic plantation. Right. Amazing.
Amazing. Yes,
yes, it is.
Yes.
So, but I didn't mind that they left. It didn't bother me. Anyway, so did you vote for the Great White Hope?
At this last election, no.
You did not?
No. I haven't truly woke up by that time.
Right.
So I was still kind of, at that time I was kind of independent, to be honest with you. I wasn't really a Democrat or Republican or whatever. I was just,
Right.
Yeah.
How about you? Did you vote for the Great White Hope?
No.
So y'all know who the Great White Hope is?
Yes.
Who?
Trump.
Wow. Now you're awake.
Trump, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what did you think about the fallen Messiah, Barack Obama and Big Mama Michelle?
Ooh. I feel that he didn't do much.
Yeah.
He didn't do much at all. He didn't.
One of the main things that I didn't like was you getting penalized for not having medical. That was, to me.
That's insane, man.
Yeah. Like you forcing somebody to get, you know what I mean? And I mean, like when you're young, how many times you go to a hospital, unless you really have a health condition or something like that?
Especially when you're young.
You know what I'm saying? So, but.
And even if I'm old and I don't want to get no insurance, let me die.
That's your choice.
I have decided I don't want no help. Let me die.
That's your choice.
You can't force that on me.
Right.
And then I have to pay for it too.
Exactly.
What
or get penalized for it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I got
man.
penalized for it.
You did?
Hell yeah, I did.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I know other people who did too. Yeah. I totally know people who did.
I didn't like that at all.
Floodgates for a lot of things that's going on today.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Things that I ain't gonna touch on.
Right.
On camera, but
He did.
but yeah.
What a mess.
Oh yeah.
Black people always turn it into a hood.
Oh yeah.
They gonna mess it up, come hell or high water. What's wrong with the black?
Damn.
This is so funny to me. It makes me laugh. Okay, but yeah, so I agree with all of them. What I was going to say something about what they were just talking about. Oh yeah, Barack. Because people have asked us before about Barack Obama and what we think about his whole, terms in office. And so everyone voted for Barack Obama. He got put into office, and everyone fell asleep. Mm-hmm. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Nothing. And so they were a little bit apprehensive. I think they're new to this whole thing, but they're a little apprehensive of talking. You see a little uncomfortableness talking bad about Barack Obama's policy. Not Barack Obama as a man. I'm talking about just his policies. Stop getting so emotional. You know what I mean? Like, the truth is that he didn't do anything.
He did things for the black.
He did
the
gay community.
He really helped the LGBT.
Yes, he did.
I mean, he did a lot for that community.
But he didn't do anything for the black community. And so a lot of black people who are moved over to like the being conservative are still even uncomfortable with just saying he didn't do a good job. And I'm not uncomfortable with saying that. Like, I'm very secure in that. Like,
I didn't vote for him the second time.
I didn't. The first time I voted for Barack Obama, the second time he did nothing. So I was like, I'm not voting for him again. And then what happened is that when Trump, see, I didn't vote for Trump either, by the way.
No,
people have asked us that before too. No, we did not vote for Trump. Now, kind of like he was saying, I was still trying to find out information. At that point, I did not believe in voting anymore just because I'm black. And just because, just because the Democrats are champion for blacks, allegedly, right? And so at that point on, I'm like, I'm not going to vote until I know what I'm doing here. When I'm talking about, I start to inform myself. Like, I'm not going to pull any lever for anybody anymore until I find out about everybody. So I didn't vote. And I didn't vote because I was educating myself. And so Trump
did a lot of good.
Yeah, I was very weird with Trump though, because I was like most people, like, The Apprentice show. I'm like, what? Are you serious, Trump?
I mean, Trump did more for the black community.
He did a lot, and it's way sad.
More, you know what I mean? And I think like it is sad. To know that, yeah. You know what I mean? But and a lot of people felt that way about Trump. I think he would have. His black vote went up even more the second time. But even Candace Owens didn't vote for Trump.
Yeah,
and that's her like friend. But she felt the same way. I think that we kind of felt at this, and like they felt.
What can he do?
Is that he was first of all, he's a wild card because he's not really a Republican or a Democrat. He was a Democrat.
He's been all of it.
He's been all of it.
He's been all of it.
You know what I mean? But he's from New York. It's a very liberal town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's hanging mostly around celebrities, liberal. You know what I mean? So there's some things he does that are kind of liberal. You know what I mean? He's not real religious. He's not, he had a hard time getting the evangelical vote. But more than anything, I like Trump.
I do.
I like Trump. I think that they're working overtime to keep this man from running.
Yeah.
And I think that there was a lot of good in Trump. He made us energy independent.
Yeah.
He gave us our dignity back with foreign people, because now Biden has completely collapsed the way people think about us all around the world, the other leaders. Yeah. And I think that like when you look at conservative versus liberal, I think that it is more that conservatives believe more in the individual.
Yeah.
And and liberals are more groupthink. Everybody's 100%. The same. We got to have a certain amount of women and Asian and black people, and then we'll truly be a utopia. No, we won't.
It's not going to happen.
I don't want some woman flying my plane, and the only reason she's up there is because she's black to make it equal. I want the person who's really good, and that happens to be a white man, then that person needs to be right up there.
And if it happens to be a black person, that's fine. But it's fine.
But it has to be
because of the quality and merit of the work, not just because you were you were affirmative action in. I don't see when you get affirmative action in, I get really uneasy with that. So I think that we just got to let that go and just let your work speak for itself, or whatever. So yeah, this is think about where we are right now. I personally, in my 90s Danielle mind, would never have guessed that we'd be in position we are now, where we're talking about pronouns, where you're misgendering, where we're now saying that men can be in women's sports. Like, I would never have thought that, but that's from ultra conservative, that's from ultra liberal ideologies and agendas. You know what I mean? That's where this all is being pushed. And so that's why a lot of people are staying away from liberal, are moving away from it, because it's not in their interest anymore. That's very strange behavior.
What did Thomas Sowell say? The instant they put sex education in school, that's when teen pregnancies.
That's when it went up.
Boom.
The numbers show that.
skyrocketed.
I'll put their channel below so you guys can subscribe to them if you are interested in hearing their conversations. They're very interesting. So let us know what you think about all this, you guys. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will love that. Okay, you guys. We'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.